There's a lot of confusion around the role of an inspector and a role of an appraiser in the real estate transaction process. So here's everything you need to know about the appraisal process in 5 minutes or less.
If you buy a home with a loan, the bank will send an appraiser. Unlike an inspector, the appraiser's sole purpose is to protect the bank's investment in your home. The bank wants to know that the buyer isn't overpaying, so if the buyer is default on the loan, the bank can foreclose on the home and recover its investment. To determine the home's value, the bank's appraiser will compare properties similar to yours that have recently sold in your neighborhood. These are called comparables or comps for short. In addition to comps, the appraiser will also consider things like the home's condition, age, and size to determine its value. Once the values have been determined, you'll receive an appraisal packet with all of the details. Here are the 4 main components of an appraisal. Number 1, a walkthrough or drive-by. The bank's appraiser will walk through the entire house to get an idea of the overall condition. They'll also confirm the tax records and note any upgrades done to the home. Number 2, home details. After the appraiser completes the walkthrough, they'll compile all the details of the house into their appraisal software. They'll enter important details like square footage, room count, bathroom count, and measurements. Number 3, comparables. The appraiser will find comparable homes that have sold recently in the area. They'll note all of the similarities to your home and include pictures from the MLS. Number 4, the evaluation. The most important part of the appraisal packet is the evaluation. This evaluation is the amount that the appraiser deems the home is worth. This dollar amount will be sent back to the bank, the buyer, and the seller, so all parties know how much the bank is willing to lend.
Now I want to talk about what happens when that appraisal comes back. So when the appraisal returns and the appraised value is higher than the agreed upon value between the buyer and seller, then the buyer is going to be really happy because they're going to know that they aren't overpaying for that property. But the seller may not feel the same way. They may try to go back to the negotiation table to get more money out of their home. On the flip side, if the appraised value comes in lower than the agreed upon value between the buyer and the seller, then the buyer is going to be the one that's going to feel like they're getting the raw end of the deal. And they may be the ones to go back to the negotiation table to lower the price of the home, which isn't going to make the sellers very happy. The ideal scenario is to have the agreed upon value and the value of the appraisal pretty much aligned. And that's why it's so important to work with a great real estate agent to price a home appropriately in the first place. A great realtor can work with you to price the home at a fair market value that's going to align with the value that the appraiser is going to evaluate the home for loan purposes. I'm Elisa Rice, a realtor in Pensacola and beyond, and I'd love to help you in whatever process that you are about to go on, either as a buyer or a seller in real estate. I have a great buyer's guide and seller's guide to help you through whichever process that you're about to take. So reach out to me at hello@yourpensacola.com. Just email me and I'll be glad to send over additional information.